Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Freaking Awesome Italian. I'm really excited to share my knowledge of the Italian language with you today. It's a beautiful language spoken in a beautiful country by beautiful people. And I don't know why you're learning Italian. Maybe your family's from Italy and you want to go back to the land of your ancestors, or maybe you just really like opera, or whatever the reason. I'm really glad that we're here learning together today. So, let's go ahead and look at an overview of the course. What we will be covering in this course, we're going to go over pronunciation, we're going to go over grammar, basically anything that you can't learn easily on your own, right? Things that it's kind of hard to look at a word in a book and know how to pronounce it unless you've heard it pronounced or someone has helped you do that, right? Things that we won't be wasting time on is building vocabulary, right? Basic phrases, really we're not going to be learning the days of the week and the numbers and the months and really anything that you can look up on your own. The reason for that is because it's kind of hard to teach in a YouTube video, right? Plus, vocabulary is not really something that can be taught. It has to be learned, right? Everyone learns at a different pace, and I could repeat words over and over again, but I don't know that you're necessarily learning them that way. So basically, you can do that stuff on your own. And the purpose of this course is just to help you with the stuff that is kind of harder to learn on your own, like grammar. And what we might cover, if you guys want, let me know in the comments what you'd like. We could learn regional dialects and regional languages. I've spent a lot of time in Italy, and I'm very familiar with the regional languages, right? Sicilian, Neapolitan, Genovese, Veneto, all these different regional languages. We could go into those if you want. We could go into culture. We could even go into regional highlights. If you're planning a trip to Italy and you want to know what are the cool things to see in each region, what foods they're famous for, that kind of thing, we can go into any of that stuff. Just let me know what you're interested in. All right, without further ado, let's just jump right into the first lesson of pronunciation. I almost didn't even do a lesson on pronunciation. I almost just jumped straight into the grammar, but I thought that pronunciation is something that's important to learn with help, right? Because you don't want to risk learning it wrong or anyways, let's just jump right into our pronunciation lesson. So first we're going to start with the vowels in Italian. Each vowel has only one sound. That's very different from English, because in English we have 13 different sounds that vowels can make, right? We have a lot of diphthongs that like the letter A can make the A sound, the A sound, the A sound, for example. Lots of different ones. In Italian, it's very, very simple. Each one always has just one sound. We have A, E, I, O, U. That's it, always. A, E, I, O, U. Keep it pure and keep it simple. So, for example, this word right here. In English, we'd say banana, right? That's two different sounds we're making with the A. We're going ba, na, na. In Italian, it's always A, banana, banana. Same with this word here. In English, we say America, right? There's no in Italian, and there's no I. It's America. Always. America. America. And this word here, Australia. If you think about that, in English, we're making three different sounds with the A's, right? We have the A, the E, and the Australia. In Italian, Australia. Australia. So each vowel always has one sound. All right, let's get into double consonants. This is actually what makes the Italian language so beautiful. It's one of the things that makes it sound so melodic and beautiful to listen to. Whenever you see two letters that are doubled, you pronounce them twice. You hold them out twice as long, literally. So, and that's important to do because there are a lot of words that are the same except for those double letters, and the meaning changes. They mean two different things. And so if you don't hold out your letters twice as long, you'll be saying something completely different. So look at these two words here. The first one is polo, and the second one is pollo. Polo, pollo, right? Something's being held out twice as long in any case, but in the first one, it's that first O, polo. And in the second one, it's pollo, the L's. So you have to hold them out twice as long. Let's look at these ones right here. First word is cana, and the second one is canna. Cana, canna. And these ones, sete, sette. Sete, sette. R's, if there's only one R, if there's only one R, it's flicked. And if there's two R's, it's rolled, right? So faro, farro, faro, farro. And lastly, we have fico, ficco, fico, ficco, right? These all mean two different things depending on if you double it or not. That'll take some practice, but you'll get it. All right, the letter C. This might seem a bit complicated at first, but don't worry, hang in there and I'll show you why it's not as complicated as it looks. Basically, the letter C can make two different sounds. If it's in front of E or I, C makes the ch sound, ch. And in front of any other letter, it has the hard k sound. I'll show you some examples so you know what I'm talking about. This first word here, cane, cane, because the C is in front of A, so it has the hard k sound, right? Cane. But the second word there, baci, baci, because it's in front of I, so it gets the soft ch sound. Baci. That third word there, amico, amico, hard k sound. Fourth word, ceci, ceci, because it's the first one's in front of E and the second one's in front of I, so they both get that soft ch sound. The reason why I said it's not as hard as it seems is because even if you don't realize it, we do the same thing in English automatically. We got it from French, which is similar to Italian, so we have the same rule. If you look, except for that we pronounce it with an S sound instead of ch, right? So think of words like fleece or pace or whatever. There's a lot of times where we pronounce a C with an S sound because it's in front of E or I, right? So, and we do without even realizing that. So it'll just seem natural to you when you see a C, and in English you'd pronounce it like a S, right? In Italian it's ch, but it's the same rule. Here's a little exception to this. Let's take a look at this. There's an H in Italian. The H doesn't make any sound on its own. It's silent. The purpose of the H is to put it in front of C to make it keep its k sound in front of E or I. That may seem a bit complicated, but let's just take a look and I'll show you with some examples. Look at this first word. Macchina, macchina, right? If that H wasn't there, and it was just CI, it would be macchina, right? But the H is there, separates the C from the I, so the C retains its hard k sound. The H doesn't make any sound on its own, it's just there to make the C keep its k sound. So, macchina. And remember that C is doubled, so you hold it out twice as long. Macchina. Look at that second word. Amiche, amiche, right? Without the H, it would be amiche. But with the H, it's amiche. Just separates it out. And this third word, pistacchio. Pistacchio. Double C, hold it out twice as long. The H is there, so it keeps the hard cut sound. Pistacchio. All right, let's move on to the letter G. And you already did all the heavy lifting with C, so now you get to reuse those same rules. G is just like C. In front of E or I, G has that soft sound, J, J. And in front of every other letter, it has the hard G sound. So same rule as C. Let's take a look at some examples. This first word, grande, grande, hard G sound. The second word, maggio, maggio. Double G, so hold it out twice as long. It's in front of I, it gets the soft J sound, maggio. Third word, lago, lago. And fourth word, gelo, gelo. And the G does the same thing with the H. If you add an H in there, it makes it keep its hard G sound. So let's look at some examples of that. Draghi, draghi, right? Without the H, it would be G, draghi, but with the H, it's draghi. The second word, ghiaccio, ghiaccio. This one's kind of hard because it has the G sound at the beginning with the H, right? And then double C in front of I. So that's the ch sound. So we have ghiaccio, ghiaccio. Third word, margherita, margherita. It's the name, it's a girl's name, and it's also the name of a pizza. So there you go, margherita. All right, let's jump into a letter combination, SC. And believe it or not, it has the exact same rules as G and C. Same thing. In front of E or I, SC has a sh sound, sh. and in front of any other letter, it's sk. Sk has the hard sk sound. So, for example, this first word, scuola, scuola, because it's in front of the U, scuola. Second word though, scelta, scelta, because it has that E there. Third word, fascista, right? Like fascist, fascista. Fourth word, pesce, pesce. But that fifth word, vasca, vasca. And I think you can guess what I'm about to say. Same rule applies with the H. If you throw an H in there, it helps it keep its hard sound, just like we've seen before. Pesche, pesche. I know if you see SCH in English, it's kind of tempting to pronounce it like sh, because maybe that's probably how we'd pronounce it if we saw that in English, right? But in Italian, the H is only there to make it keep its hard sound. Pesche. That second word, maschera, maschera. And that third word, scheletro, scheletro. All right, GN. GN looks kind of weird at first, but you know this. I know you've seen this before. I'll show you how. I'll show you where. GN is pronounced ny, ny, ny. You've seen this in the word gnocchi, right? Like the pasta gnocchi. So look at this first word, bagno. Bagno means bathroom. Second word, ragno, ragno, ragno. And then gnocchi, gnocchi. The pasta, right? So ñ, double C, hold it out twice as long. The H is there, so it keeps its k sound, gnocchi. And now you know why that word is pronounced like that, right? It looks really weird, but once you know the rules of Italian pronunciation, it makes total sense why that's pronounced gnocchi. All right, the letter Z. The letter Z is like ts. It's pronounced like a TS or a DZ, right? Z, ts, or z. The distinction doesn't matter that much, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So this first word, zaino, zaino, or zaino, zaino, right? Second word, pizza. Now you know why that's pronounced like that too, right? I'm sure you've always wondered. Double Z, hold it out twice as long. Pizza, pizza. This third word, attrezzo, attrezzo. And the fourth word, melanzana or melanzana. One of the distinctions between if it's going to be like a ts or a z sound, one of them is regional, right? So if you were from the north of Italy, you would probably pronounce this word melanzana. And if you're from the south, you'd probably say melanzana. It really depends. And also it's not that big of a deal. Whether you pronounce it ts or z, people will understand you either way. It's understandable. And it'll sound natural. Just some words are easier to say with z, right? Others are just easier with ts. So you'll get it. All right, GLI. GLI for English speakers is probably the weirdest sound in Italian, just because it's the only one that doesn't exist in English. GLI, what it is it's the palatalized L followed by I. And what I mean by palatalized is if you think about how you pronounce the L sound in your mouth, right? You put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth and go, right? A palatalized L is the same thing, except for you use the middle of your tongue instead of the tip of your tongue. So if you put the middle of your tongue up on the roof of your mouth and go li, li, that's what the GLI is for. The G isn't pronounced, it's just there to symbolize that. It's a palatalized L followed by the E sound, right? Li. So let's look at some examples. This first word, figlio, figlio. Then we have paglia, paglia. And then we have sonaglia, sonaglia. This sound you'll probably have to practice this quite a bit, because it's kind of weird, but you'll get it. It's nothing too crazy. There's nothing you can't get with practice. It'll just not feel very natural in your mouth at first, but you'll get it. All right, and then the letter S. This one's pretty easy. Just in between two vowels, it has a z sound, and anywhere else it's s. And also if you double it, it maintains the s sound even if it's between vowels, right? So for example, excuse me. This first word, casa, casa, with that Z sound. Second one, casa, Cassa. Because it's doubled, so it keeps the S sound, and it's pronounced twice as long, right? Cassa. This third word, peso, peso. Fourth word, fossa, fossa. So pretty straightforward. All right, thank you very much for watching. I'm very excited about this course. I think it'll be great. Go ahead and leave in the comments any suggestions or anything you think I can do better. I hope my mic quality was okay. I'm experimenting with a new mic, so if it's kind of fading in and out, let me know and I'll fix that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Arrivederci.